Washington, ghost-like objects dart across the radar screen at the CAA Traffic Control Center at National Airport for several hours, traveling more than 100 miles an hour. Air Force jet fighters spend several hours chasing the objects plotted on the radar scope.
Something else is out there.
There's something else out there, okay.
Of all the banks and braes of bonny Scotland, none holds more fascination than the murky waters of Loch Ness.
Tell me, do you think there is life on other planets?
Well, I'm not quite sure, but I suppose there would be.
No, he seems definite. You seem
Definitely.
definite. How do you see this life and where?
Oh, I've seen a flying saucer.
Blackwater Media presents Darkfall. Real-life encounters with the paranormal and the unexplained. I've never told this story, nor am I sure I ever will again. The event happened to me in the fall of 1983, just south of Camp Lenape outside of Medford, New Jersey. I was about 13 or 14 at the time. I was in the Boy Scouts, and at the time I refused to subscribe to ghost or monster stories of any kind. I grew up in a family that knew and respected nature and all that it encompassed. My family moved to New Jersey from McChord Air Force Base in Washington after a brief stay in Pennsylvania. I grew up hearing stories about Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster. My father grew tired of all these stories coming from a child whose imagination was so influenced by tales of monsters in the woods generated by drunks and individuals who loved to put a little fear into kids just for shits and giggles. See, I always wanted my father to see me as a man, and I was always willing to try to prove myself as one. Growing up, my father had his career in the military and had little time for kids' monster stories, but he would entertain us from time to time with feigned interest. After the event that I'm going to share with you took place, I realized that that's what fathers do. And I thought I was too grown up for such nonsense, and monsters don't exist, hence my silence for close to 36 years. Most of my childhood monsters under my bed type scenarios have long since been forgotten. Except for this one. And this is why I've never stepped foot back into those woods since. I have seen true monsters in man throughout my 50 years of life, and became somewhat bored with the other monsters. But like I said, except for this one, no matter how much I try to explain it away, it still brings a lump in my throat when I recall that one night, and any remote thought of ever returning is gone. I know that there are periods in most people's lives that are scary, especially as children, but over time those experiences become childhood memories. But god damn it, this one is still very memorable and real. And no matter how much I've tried, I cannot explain it away. By the way, I returned to New Jersey in 1988 at the age of 18 for basic training at Fort Dix. And I knew prior to my arrival that there, my story would never be repeated, because who wants a crazy person with a gun to defend the country? So at that point, the whole thing never happened as far as I was concerned. So, after 36 years, this is the first time, and like I said, most likely the last time I will ever allow it to pass through my lips. To those non-believers, I say this: I don't give a shit what you think. I'm 100% sure about what happened that night, and would give almost anything for you to experience the same thing, and after 36 years, fare as well as I have. I was, as I said, about 13 or 14 at the time, and involved with the Boy Scouts. I was one of the older boys in the troop and knew that I had to conduct myself as one. I had a love of fishing, and at some point my world seemed to revolve around it. The area we were camped at was way out in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey, which of course have the stories of the Jersey Devil. If you're enjoying this story and would like to hear it to its conclusion, go on over to blackwatermedia.net and click on the menu tab that says Become a Swamp Hunter Society member. And for only $4.99 per month, you can have access to the finest, most entertaining, thrilling, and exciting paranormal, supernatural, and horror story narration available. Explore an amazing universe of monsters, nightmares, and all manner of terror and creeping shadows with your Blackwater Media Swamp Hunter Society membership. Get it today.